Warm greetings, radiant soul. Welcome to a space where chaos takes a breath, and you remember the quiet strength that has always been yours. In a world that rarely stops spinning, today we do. Because while the world may scream for your attention, wisdom whispers. And if you're here, it's because you're the kind of woman who listens to that whisper. Before we dive in, if this resonates with you, if you crave not just peace, but power rooted in clarity, give this video a like and subscribe. Not for me, for you. Because every step you take towards stillness is a step deeper into your own brilliance. Let's talk about calming the mind, not numbing it, not distracting it, but calming it like the ocean settles after a storm, deep, strong, and clear. Stoicism doesn't offer fairy tales. No, it offers fire-tested tools. Not all glittering, not all pleasant, but effective, dangerously effective, if you're ready to do more than just cope. If you're ready to live wide awake. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you were really still? Not the kind of stillness where you're scrolling endlessly with your eyes glazed over, but that spine-deep stillness where nothing external owns you, where your mind isn't a battlefield, but a sanctuary. You see, Stoicism, contrary to what many believe, is not about suppression. It's about precision. It's not cold detachment. It's courageous clarity. And the first strategy I want to share with you isn't exotic. It's radical in its simplicity. Start with perception. Your mind isn't calm because life is chaotic. Your mind isn't calm because you let every single wave of circumstance crash directly into your core. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who carried the weight of an empire and personal tragedy, wrote in his private journal, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Imagine that. You have the power to revoke the chaos, not by denying it exists, but by refusing to let it dominate your inner state. It's a mental boundary, not an escape. Most people, most women, were never taught this. We were taught to please, absorb, manage everyone else's emotions, but no one taught us to govern our own minds, like a queen governs her realm. Let me tell you a little story. There's an old fable of a woman who lived in a village where people brought their worries to her daily. She was called the Well of Peace. One day a traveler asked, "How do you stay so calm when all around you is noise and complaint?" She smiled and answered, "Because I listen, but I do not carry. I offer presence, but not possession. I remain the well, but I do not drink the poison." That's Stoicism. That's you. When you stop mistaking your reactions for your identity. And this leads us to something essential. Your breath. Yes, your breath. The most underestimated superpower you carry with you at all times. We think of Stoicism as this lofty philosophy, ancient scrolls and deep meditations. But what if I told you that your path to mental calm can begin with a single conscious inhale? The Stoics believed in mastering the self through presence, and nothing anchors you to the now like breath. Not the kind you take while rushing between errands or answering messages, but a full, deliberate breath that says, "I am here. I am safe. I am not my thoughts." This is not spiritual fluff. It's biology aligning with philosophy. When you breathe deeply, you signal safety to your nervous system. You disarm the panic before it becomes a wildfire. Women especially carry so much: expectations, comparisons, emotional labor. And we often don't notice how shallow our breathing becomes, how tense our shoulders feel, how clenched our jaw is, until we pause. The pause is your power. You don't need incense or silence or a perfect morning routine. You just need to remember to stop and breathe as if your peace depended on it. Because it does. The Stoics taught that we should return to ourselves again and again. That life will try to scatter us across the winds of news, gossip, fear, envy, and ambition. But you are not meant to scatter. You are meant to root. Let's get practical. When a moment of chaos arises, when your child screams, your partner misunderstands you, or your boss emails at 10 p.m., you have a choice. React or breathe. You can spiral into the drama, or you can become the eye of the storm. Calm, clear, commanding. Not because you're suppressing, but because you're choosing. And the more you choose calm, the more it chooses you back. I want to invite you to try this right now. Not tomorrow, not after the video. Right now. Close your eyes for 3 seconds. Go on, no one's watching. And inhale through your nose. Hold. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Let go, just for that moment, of what you think you have to fix. That breath, that's you claiming your mind. And as you begin to return to this quiet strength, another question begins to rise. What stories are you telling yourself that keep you from peace? Because here's the secret most people never stop to consider. It's not the noise around you that unsettles you. It's the narrative within you. What are you telling yourself when someone criticizes you? When plans fall apart? When you don't meet your own impossible standards? Too often, the voice in your mind isn't even yours. It's an echo of someone else's fear, someone else's shame, someone else's limits. And yet we let those voices narrate our lives like they are truth etched in stone. The Stoics knew that peace isn't found in the absence of difficulty. It's forged in the stories we choose to believe about our difficulties. Epictetus, born a slave, and eventually one of the greatest Stoic minds, said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." And let's not kid ourselves. He didn't say that from a mountain retreat, sipping herbal tea. He said that from the trenches of real suffering, of real limitation. And he still chose clarity over chaos. So what stories do you tell yourself when the world doesn't bend to your will? Do you say, "I'm not good enough," or "Nothing ever works for me," or the ever deadly, "This always happens"? Every time you tell yourself a story like that, your nervous system responds accordingly. Your body believes you. And then, you become prisoner to a lie that feels like truth. But you are not your thoughts. You are the thinker. And that distinction, once you see it, is liberation. Try this. The next time a thought rises up that makes your heart race or your stomach twist, pause and ask, is this true? Is this useful? Or is this a story I've inherited that no longer serves me? This is a kind of internal housekeeping. And yes, it's emotional work. But it's the kind of work that makes the difference between surviving the day and truly owning it. Now imagine, just for a second, what your life might look like if you practiced this. If you walked through the same world, faced the same challenges, but filtered them through a lens of reason, resilience, and self-respect. Can you feel that? That shift? That is the mind returning home to itself. And it brings us to something even deeper, the discipline of desire. Stay with me here, because this isn't about denying what you want or pretending you don't have needs. It's about understanding that not all desires deserve your energy. Some desires distract, some distort, and others disguise themselves as empowerment, when really they are chains and glitter. The Stoics taught us that one of the most powerful ways to calm the mind is to examine our desires, not to shame them, but to question them, to purify them. Because desire, unchecked, can make you restless, anxious, even desperate. And desperation is the enemy of peace. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Replace man with woman here, and you'll see how radical this becomes. In a society that constantly tells women to want more, be more, chase more, it is an act of rebellion to say, "I have enough. I am enough. I will not let desire devour my dignity." Take a moment. What are the things you think you need in order to be calm? A perfect relationship? A certain body? A zero inbox email? A quiet home where everyone magically behaves? These are beautiful if they happen. But if your peace depends on them, then your peace is a prisoner. Here's where the power of Stoicism hits hard. It teaches you to desire only what is within your control. Not the weather, not your partner's mood, not the number of likes on your post, but your attitude, your values, your choices. Those are yours, always have been. Let me give you a tiny parable. A woman walked into a market, overwhelmed by abundance. She wanted everything: sweet fruit, rare oils, glittering fabrics. But her bag was small. Every time she added one thing, she had to let go of another. In frustration, she sat down and wept. An elder approached her and said, "Child, your peace isn't lost because of what you carry. It's lost because of what you're unwilling to leave behind." And just like that, she understood. You can want, but want wisely. Want slowly. Want without giving your soul away in the process. And from here, a deeper stillness starts to rise. Not because everything is finally in order, but because you are. And this kind of inner alignment naturally leads us to confront something that most people avoid at all costs: discomfort. Yes, that knot in your chest, that moment of silence after the truth lands, that ache of not getting what you thought you wanted. Discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the invitation. Most people run from it, numb it, deny it, wrap it in productivity or busy schedules, or fake smiles. But not you. You're still here, which means you are ready to meet your discomfort with courage instead of fear. The Stoics didn't seek comfort. They didn't worship ease. They respected discomfort because they knew it was the forge where the self is tempered. Think of a blade. Do you know how it becomes sharp? It's beaten, burned, cooled, tested. And yet we expect peace without pressure, calm without challenge. But peace, real peace, doesn't come when everything is easy. It comes when you've faced what's hard and stood firm. When you've sat with the ache, the silence, the questions and said, "I will not be broken by this. I will be shaped by it." Let me offer a different way to see it. Discomfort is a signal, not a sentence. It tells you where the growth is, where the attachment lives, where the illusion hides. When something makes you uncomfortable, don't push it away too quickly. Ask it, "What are you here to show me?" Remember the biblical story of Jacob wrestling the angel through the night. He was wounded, yes, but he refused to let go until he received a blessing. That's how we approach discomfort in Stoicism. We don't flee it. We wrestle with it, not for the pain, but for the clarity it leaves in its wake. Let's be honest. Women are taught to be agreeable, to smooth over tension, to smile through discomfort as if it's noble. But what if discomfort isn't something to endure, but something to explore? What if every time you feel uneasy, it's not a signal to run, but to return to yourself and listen more closely? Because once you stop fearing discomfort, once you welcome it as part of the process, your mind begins to quiet. The noise softens. The panic fades. You're no longer a hostage to your reactions. You become the observer, the student, the sculptor of your own becoming. And this makes space for the most underestimated strategy of all, the art of letting go. Letting go isn't weakness. It's not defeat. It's not giving up. It is in fact the highest form of strength, because anyone can cling to people, to outcomes, to the past, to how things should have been. But it takes a deeply grounded woman to release what is not hers to control and hold only what nourishes her. You've been taught to grip tight, to fix, to manage, to prove. But here's the truth. The tighter you hold, the more your peace slips through your fingers. Letting go, is not passive. It's active surrender. It's the bold, intentional decision to stop trying to bend reality to your will and instead meet it with wisdom. The Stoics didn't avoid life. They accepted it fully, fiercely. And in that acceptance, they found their power. You can't calm the mind by controlling the world, but you can calm it by mastering your relationship with it. And when you let go of what weighs you down, old stories, false desires, fear of discomfort, what's left is something extraordinary. Clarity, focus, inner quiet, true freedom. Imagine waking up and not being owned by your worries. Imagine sitting in silence and hearing nothing but your own strength echo back at you. That is the life Stoicism offers. Not someday, but now. With simple strategies, with a shift in perception, with a breath, with the courage to face discomfort, and above all, with the grace to let go. So if this stirred something in you, if even one part of this message reminded you of your own untouchable power, then don't keep it to yourself. Give this video a like so others can find this message. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because here, every video is a step deeper into the woman you were always meant to be. And remember, the world may be loud, but your wisdom is louder. Stay calm, stay clear, stay powerful.